Hey guys, this is Shane. I'm the owner and lead instructor of Nomad Krav Maga, also an affiliate of Integrative Defense Strategies, and I'm here with Todd Fossey, chief instructor of IDS. We're at what he calls the lab, right? We've been working the last 3 days pressure testing all the material he's going over in our level 2 Apex instructor class and certification, and we were just talking about some kind of similarities that I saw whenever he was showing me some of his techniques from his handgun out of holster retention algorithm, right? So I was seeing like some similarities. So if we're talking about just one of the techniques that we were dealing with, it's the chop and pop, right?
Yeah,
chop and pop. So if he were to grab my gun right now and I work this technique, I'm pulling and working that retention, right? So cool thing about it, I originally started with like a traditional karate background, Okinawan Goju-Ryu, awesome martial art. And as soon as I saw that technique, it just popped in my head. I was like, wow, that looks exactly like a technique that we worked in that. So let me recap it again from this side right here. So I've got this gun out, he grabs it. I wanna pull to my body to cause an imbalance in his posture. Now, as I pull my arm up, I'm gonna chop and pop, right? So I push and I pull the gun back to a retention position. Could I discharge the weapon from here? Absolutely, if circumstances warrant. I could work countering, I could work additional attacks, I could tap rack, I could put him in the line of fire. If not, I could just break range, disengage, and go home, right? That's the main goal with what we're doing. But what's the karate technique that this looks like, right? And I was just thinking it's cool that it's a similar technique. So it's called Gaidon Bara. I saw it, right? I'm here, right? I'm working this like low block that you guys might do from like karate or taekwondo or something, and look, it's the exact same movement. One more time. Now look at it from that perspective. Pull first, right? I gotta pull to get him off balance. And then, Todd, you wanna talk about what everybody on the internet's gonna say, because they think they know everything as far as, oh, you're putting your hand in the line of fire, that technique's not gonna work under this, or this circumstance. And just kind of talk about a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's really important. I think that we're putting things into context, okay? First thing is, from this position, obviously, go ahead and grab it. Obviously from this position, this person who's going for your weapon is showing lethal intent, right? So you also have the option, probably, to discharge your weapon from this position too. But if you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, or if circumstances don't call for that, or for whatever reason, the weapon is currently inoperable, right? You might want to be able to clear that weapon and refunction the weapon, right? In order to get it back in the battery. So that's one option. One of the things that I really want to say about this is that this is just really one option out of many, right? We have many options. We have a whole algorithm for out of holster weapon retention. And when we're talking about an algorithm, we're working through a hierarchy, right? And sometimes we have to choose a technique in a hierarchy that might be more effective in some circumstances than in others. And we want to acknowledge, we openly acknowledge that this is not a perfect technique. There are other techniques that we like a lot better in other circumstances, but there are circumstances where this can be very effective. One fair criticism of this is when the chop and pop is taking place, right? He's gonna cross over his muzzle a little bit for just that split fraction of a second, right? So he is sweeping himself a little bit. However, we have to ask ourselves the question, are we willing to take a very small risk in order to mitigate a much larger one, right? Another variation of this technique, Shannon can also clear the weapon in a very similar principle from the leg, right? So if I'm grabbing from here, he might counter strike if he can't get it away, right? And then he can very easily, right, frame up on me with one hand, right? Bring his leg up and clear the weapon with his leg. We can turn around so you can see from the other direction, right? Everything else is being rendered ineffective, right? He throws a counter strike, it means he frames up. He brings his leg up and he can clear. So watch for a second. Even when he's using his leg in slow motion, for a very fraction of a second, he's sweeping himself, right? But at least he's getting his weapon back where it needs to be, right? So we want to acknowledge that. We're also very realistic about how we can use a small level of risk to mitigate a much larger one.
Yeah, are you trying to say that those, general rules of firearm safeties,
they're not absolutes, and they're put as absolute statements, right? Never let your weapon sweep anything that you're not willing to destroy, right?
Yep.
Never? right? There may be circumstances where it's absolutely necessary in order for us to protect ourselves and other innocent people. So that's not the whole algorithm, that's just one thing, but I think Shannon makes some really interesting points about it. It caught his attention for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like pretty much what Todd was saying, you've got these small risks that you're gonna have to weigh in that moment. Is that small risk of sweeping yourself, is that necessary in order to free your weapon when he's obviously showing lethal intent, right? And in that circumstance, that situation, you may or may not feel that that's the best option. It's just an option in the algorithm, as Todd was saying. And it's just pretty cool that you see that traditional martial arts movement in reality-based self-defense, cutting-edge stuff that is working with modern-day weapons. So don't ever count anything out and use what works, right? So again, I'm Shannon, owner and lead instructor, Nomad Krav Maga, Todd Fossey, chief instructor of Integrative Defense Strategies.
Feel free to check us out on our website, www.thisidids.com. If you're interested in becoming an affiliate like Shannon is, becoming an instructor of our Apex program, hit us up, contact us. You click affiliates on that page. You can also check us up on Facebook, right? Integrative Defense Strategies on Facebook and YouTube. We'd be happy to have you be a part of the IDS clan.
All right, thanks Todd.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.